It's Quorators time. And we're back with Quorators another week here on crack.com, home of the fact, official slogan of crack.com. We're your hosts, Alex and Jeremy. I'm Alex.
I'm Jeremy. How's it going?
How is it going?
It's going all right.
It's fine. We got a great guest for you this week, all the way from the World Wide Web, folks. You're going to love this guy. We got Matt McMuscles live in the chat. What's going on, Matt?
Hey, what's up, Matt McMuscles? It's a funny name because I'm not particularly muscular in any shape, way, or form. It's a pun, really.
That blew my mind when I saw that big turn. I was expecting the most robust gentleman.
Right? Well, yeah, in some ways, yeah, no, like robust in some ways, but very much not in others.
Matt, do you worry that if you ever work out, you're going to have to like stop yourself to be like, I can't get too muscular. It's going to stop being a fun nickname.
You could tell he's thought about this.
I think about this all the time. I'm like, I can't, because one time I was getting somewhere and I'm like, nah, this will ruin the brand. It'll ruin the brand. I just can't. My health isn't worth it.
You're running into the problem every like 90s fat comedy actor had.
Exactly. Jonah Hill was so much more entertaining like 10 years ago.
That's true.
It's just his bone shape is entirely shocking now.
Now he's mean to his girlfriend and skinny like a loser.
I think he's mean because he's skinny.
I agree.
Well, that's enough of that. Matt, have you been on Quora before? You know about Quora?
I know of Quora, but no, never actually perused.
What have you heard?
Like, this is a dumb place, and then your podcast appeared. That's literally the start and like the end of it. So yeah, that's my. But I did do a little bit, tiny bit of research, like a week or two ago, because we had some problems scheduling this. Just I had a really bad cold. It was like I had COVID, and this random cold way worse, and I don't know why. I think it was because it was from a child. Those are no quote.
Yeah, you're getting it raw.
Yeah.
You're getting straight from the source, flu.
Yeah. So yeah, like I haven't really dug deep into the website. So
that's fine. And if you are watching, I encourage not digging deep into the website. It may harm you and your mental health.
Well, if you are sick, Quora is a good place to go to ask.
Oh, yeah, just ask random people.
Yeah.
People who are not qualified to give advice. They have a doctorate in some other thing, and they want to tell you to take household products. Doing this show for a year now has made me feel like mixed on Quora, because if you have online poisoning and you're on Twitter all the time or something like that, Quora is so much more fun to be on than like Facebook or something like that, but it is also the dumbest place on the entire internet, which is a very special prize, and it will hurt you over time to be there.
So it evens out. It evens out.
Yeah.
It's like drinking. It's like a lot of fun, but it's bad for you, I guess.
I feel like when we're on Quora, it's like when you have poison in a video game and you're walking, you just see like the -1 pop up every few seconds. Ooh, ooh, ooh.
No, don't do that to your son. Ow. Well, okay, we bookend every episode by asking a question and then seeing what people said. So what was our question last time?
Last week we said, if I sat on a lighter, parentheses really hard, would it explode?
Oh, no.
That's right, this? Mario. Oh, no.
Any thoughts on this, Matt? Do you think you would explode a lighter if you sat on it really hard?
It depends on the surface that you're sitting on. If it's on a couch, no.
True.
That's just physics.
Yeah, that's just physics.
If it's on like a cement bench and you hit like one of the cheeks or like the ass bone is, maybe if you are of a certain carriage,
sure,
I can imagine that working. But like I'd say 9 times out of 10, no.
9 times out of 10, you are safe. That's the lighter guarantee.
And then there's that 1 out of 100. You sit on it, goes right up your butt, and then you explode.
Oh my God. And you can trust Jeremy. He's a doctor.
I'm a doctor.
Yeah, so our suggestion is to avoid bone sparks, I guess. Let's see what the people on Quora said.
This guy, Adam Griffin, who's a senior product manager at Pendo says,
Shout out to Pendo.
Shout out. We love your work.
Pendo, you're our guy who answered our question corporation of the week.
He says, I would say it's possible if you're on a hard surface. There you go.
We're all saying the same thing.
I would be careful, however, with fluid lighters or any butane product in the nether region area. In high school, I would tease friends by lighting my farts on fire and ended up with a second and third degree burns 3 feet up my colorectal lining. It is
3
a very difficult area to treat.
3 feet up your organs?
That's like
Neither of us want to say that.
A special move at that point.
Yeah.
It's like you fought Scorpion. 3 feet, I'm assuming like it's not straight because that's the whole torso. That's around.
Is he saying third degree burns like up his ass?
No, he's saying up his colorectal
What is
lining,
that?
Jeremy.
Is rectal not
It's
ass?
a colorectal lining.
I'm looking it up. I'm
The
Googling it.
lining of your colon, I'm assuming.
Yeah, I wanna
But,
say.
this one even really. Then he has to really get a camera up there to see the degree of burns. That's a
I'm
lot.
assuming he went to a real hospital and didn't just check the internet for this one. But we
up
pulled
there,
up
man.
colorectal lining, and yep, that's what it was.
It's up there.
It's where colon polyps go. Anyway,
It, like, did a reverse explosion.
do we have any other answers from even smarter people? Although I
What's up?
gotta say that guy was incredibly qualified to answer
Yes.
our later question in a way that surprised me.
I doubt it would. There's nothing to ignite the leaking butane or naphtha from the lighter. Years ago, I had a freshly filled Zippo stuffed into a tight jeans pocket, young and dumb. Later, I felt a sting on my skin, which was the naphtha drying out or a chemical burn on my skin. I had to remove the jeans to make it stop, but no ignition occurred. I had skin damage for a long time. Sounds like you didn't sit on it, though, even though you were a former engineer at nuclear power plants.
Allegedly.
Yeah, this is all happening at like a very high tech institution.
Dare I say useless answer.
It sounded like the high tech place is like a lab at the bottom of the ocean.
When I was the captain of Sea Lab 2021, I used to light my own farts on fire every day.
I burned my ass right up.
Damn. Okay, so
move
one
on.
guy says no.
Yeah.
That's under answers that need improvement.
Upvote from Gray.
Casual reminder, as we do on the show every week, just to say it again and again. If you must answer our Quora questions, be sure to use the code word scrambled eggs.
Yes.
And this way we'll know you're one of our little minions, and not some guy we're gonna say where you work and stuff.
We won't be mean to you.
We won't read the fake place you work on your Quora account.
Okay, let's
That's
get
it for
into
the
it.
week.
This is our first segment, Forbidden Knowledge, and Matt, you told us that you wanted us to find a bunch of video game and comic book and hentai questions. So
If
we have
you want
found
me at my best, yes.
we have found such questions.
We need
Thank
to
you very
coach
much.
our athletes into their top performance.
Yeah, exactly. We wouldn't
Exactly,
dare
exactly.
put you in the wrong field.
We all hydrated before this.
Okay, so this is a video game question. This question is on Quora.com, and it is, should we prohibit the mentally ill from playing violent video games? We have laws restricting sales of firearms to those who with a history of mental illness or a criminal record, but we allow use of violent games, including first-person shooter games.
I would love to see this implemented. I would love the like
GameStop
license
employee
you
trying
need. Yeah, there's a guy at GameStop who like makes you walk 20 paces in a straight line. Then you can have Red Dead Redemption 2.
Like a form has to be filled out, like, and the GameStop employee has to be behind like a more official looking desk. Like GameStop is not going to spend that amount like refurbishing the 50 stores that are left in America that are GameStop. So I'm gonna say, yeah, like in terms of logistics, there's no way you can implement that.
GameStop will start having bulletproof glass. The only way to safely continue the trade.
They hand you a game, they're like, what are you using this for?
You put it in a drawer and then they open it on one side. And it comes out.
If this came about like the early 2000s, like boom of PS2, like yeah, maybe
A lot of
You know,
lives
like,
could have been saved.
a lot of lives got saved. Like that's when like stuff like Manhunt was coming out, and like
Sure.
you could have had senators talking about that specifically, and this could be. But nowadays, too much money is being made in video games. It's too mainstream.
How
Like,
many shooters were inspired by Bloody Roar Primal Fury? We'll never know.
I'm not a shooter, but I was generally inspired by Bloody Roar Primal Fury. I was on Game FAQs once, and I found an old ancient FAQ for Primal Fury specifically, written by Aaron Hansen of Game Grumps when he was like 12, and he has little descriptions of the combos. He's like,
sweet.
"Oh, this combo is so cool. Use it a lot." And I'm like, that's my favorite fact. I just found like an
And that's
ancient
why Matt should
code.
be in prison. That's why we have to arrest Matt.
I've kind of modeled my career after Bakuryu the mole. That's a really strong video game poll. Welcome to crack.com.
Sheena the leopard.
I don't have a third one.
That's fine. You only need one or two.
It's going to come to me in 25 minutes when it's useless. What are people saying? I bet they're really dealing with this well.
People are not happy about this question.
That's a shame.
People are pissed off. Jason Genesee. I feel bad I'm saying these people's full names.
His name is Jaden Genesee.
Jaden, sorry. Well, you know what? I'm sorry I didn't dox him for 1 second.
Jeremy trying to put his body
His
in
name
front of
isn't
Jaden
Jason.
Genesee to
Also,
save
he
him
lives
from
on
our fans.
15 Millbury Lane. Jaden says, I'm mentally ill. I spent the majority of my life listening to violent, evil, Satan-worshipping, kill your parents, kill the authorities, kill everyone, deadly, heavy metal music, the music that Wasp and others would tell you was the worst part of civilization. Heck, I even listened to the music that came after the Great Wasp uproar. Walmart and Kmart won't even carry some of my favorite bands because
This guy's
they say,
post-Wasp.
bad words. I listened to Slayer, Megadeth, Metallica. All right,
Mentally ill here. I listen to Body Count.
And then he goes, want to know how evil I am? I study the Bible daily. I joined the Catholic Church, mwahaha, and I sit here reading questions on Quora and responding to them. All right.
All right, this guy's really giving us a lot of attitude. I just want to know if you should be barred.
I like the ah-ha-ha, though. That was the spice there.
If you like that ah-ha-ha, you'll love the preceding ah-ha-has in the rest of the post.
But then he goes, never got into video games. So it's like, well, that's
So maybe you don't fucking know, Jaden.
Yeah,
maybe you're the last person to ask in the world. I'd rather have like a.
I got no dog in this fight.
Yeah. I just like Slayer.
I'm so sick of Jaden, man. Pisses me
Jaden.
off every week. Eric Pepke, unrelated to Eric Pepsi, says, why?
Then he goes, don't even get me started on Barney. Just a flashback of Barney, and I'm ready to do bodily harm. It's like, what are you talking
No, he's just
Why are you
joking.
going on a
That's
rant?
just ignore Jaden, man.
Sorry, all right.
Jaden's trying to make a mockery of our Quora investigative podcast. I moved on to Eric Pepke, who works at Cisco.
What's his deal? Well, if you're talking about sending messages, I guess you can do what you like. Your audience is people who aren't mentally ill. A lot of stuff that people do about the mentally ill is to make themselves happy. Yeah, whatever.
Is the implication that, like, if you get a video game, you are enabled with the same level of power a gun brings you?
Yeah, I think so.
You unlock new special moves.
In your ADHD hands.
You're gonna
It's like, the only like you get really good at throwing PS2 discs and you chop them up into like ninja star shapes. That's the only way that's being really a deadly weapon without an additional outside element. So they're like, no.
Ninja star shapes are one of the sharpest shape. That's something we want to discourage our listeners from throwing.
Again, physics.
This is a science podcast.
Okay. Well, unless somebody else is even more angry, I think we're done with this
let's move
question.
on. Okay. Here's
The rare case where the Quora answers are not angry enough.
Yeah. All right. Here's another video game question. Why was Lara Croft given a bust reduction? Was it because she was considered overly sexual? If so, is that fair?
To who? To her?
Is it fair to her?
To us?
I'm gonna go ahead and say her back hurt. That's usually why.
Yeah, that is usually.
And
how
she
it
does
goes
like
down.
a lot of athletics.
Sure.
Too. You really don't want to be like stuck on a crag
heavy.
boob wise.
Oh no.
Yeah. It'd be like 127 days later or whatever.
The movie where a zombie gets stuck in a mountain
Oh no. I'm just a sexy zombie.
and he's really hot.
Oh, I can't use my guns to shoot myself free.
So I think this question is fundamentally flawed because when you went from the big polygons that were sharp, like they're basically pyramids, like there's going to be a natural reduction when it moved over to like more powerful hardware and they're able to like do more quote unquote natural curves to it. So I think this person maybe is like not thinking about that element to it, but remember they had to increase Angelina Jolie's bust for the film. And she was, like, against that.
Too many of our viewership is actively trying to forget that.
I honestly always thought they should just give her the triangle boobs.
That would be
throw some
really
triangles
interesting.
on her.
They did that in the 70s.
Yeah.
You just give her the sharp triangle bras back, and then she will look like Lara Croft.
That would have been enough for people to have been like, they got the video game right.
It's so
finally.
real. I don't know where high end in the film begins.
Yeah, that was also a 3D movie. Whoa!
They shoot water at you in the theater. Look how Lara's going in a pool. She's going in a sexy pool.
Man.
I'm still hung up on is it fair?
I think that's a good question.
I think the angle they're going for is like, was Lara Croft's boobs silenced for truth? Did the woke mob come for Lara Croft's boob?
Her woke, her right-wing boobs.
British, grew up rich. Yeah, maybe.
It's the first one. Well, there's a lot of history here, and I don't know how deep we want to get
I don't
into
know.
it.
It's just a lot of just photos of women dressed as Lara Croft.
These are the longest post answers I have seen on the entire website.
People have written essays.
I love how the mentally ill thing was like not that interesting. No one had that. This is the real shit. Because they also hired like 6 or 7 models to be Lara Croft at like trade shows and stuff. So I'm assuming a lot of those pictures are from there. Like they went through one lady a year. I can't imagine what that woman had to go through going to every single trade show. She's like, I'm done. Just bring in some fresh meat, I guess.
Being Lara Croft wears you out.
Here's a good answer. This guy, Reza, says, I wish Democrats didn't hate big tits, but they do.
Facts.
Oh, baby! Why is Joe Biden forcing the itty-bitty titty committee onto
The Ministry of Itty Bitties.
Who put Pete Buttigieg on this board?
And he somehow went back in like 2002, 2003 when this change was implemented into Lara Croft games. Amazing.
The government's out of control.
I think that's enough.
That probably does it for this one.
I think we've covered
I don't
Lara
think
Croft.
any other gold's coming out of that.
Okay. Here's a question. Why does Spider-Man have so many girlfriends?
Now, Spider-Man is debatably overrepresented on our program. As we have been talking about him for some reason every week for 6 weeks. But I've never known why he has so many girlfriends.
How does he have? Like 3?
He's got more than most.
And he's always struggling in the workplace. Like he's not making rent most months. So, I mean, then it has to be just charisma. He's not a nerd most of the time. He's a nerd in his teenager years. But also the character's been alive for like 70 years.
He's an old man.
He's an old man by this point. You can have 3 or 4 girlfriends. Like who is there? There's Mary Jane, there's Gwen Stacy, and the secretary
Black
under
Cat.
J.
Does
Jonah.
he date Black Cat?
No.
No.
Only in costume.
Shut the fuck up, Jeremy.
Well, that's Spider-Man. I didn't say Peter Parker.
Oh, that's like the most elaborate way of cheating. Is like that's Spider-Man's girlfriend. We're still married.
Like he tries to take off the mask in a scene. She's like, "Don't fucking do that. Leave
There you
that
go.
on."
Good
And that works
God.
for Mary Jane. That's their agreement.
The other thing too is people don't know that Spider-Man's
Peter
got
loves you, baby. But Spider-Man, he's got a bone.
Spider-Man's got a great body. That's all I wanted to say. I just want to get that on the
That was
podcast.
probably Miles.
He's been at the Avengers compound picking up Riz.
Also, don't forget this actually transfers into real life, as every live-action Spider-Man dates his girlfriend in real life.
Is that
the
true?
actress.
Did that actually happen?
Oh
Damn,
my God.
Toby, you dog.
He's all
I-
over town.
I don't think Toby and Kristen Dunst was like a huge thing, but like apparently they did date like briefly. But the other two examples, like they're long-standing relationships. So
That's true.
the magic of Stan Lee continues forever. Like he just writes this character that's irresistible in fiction and in real life. So
Beautiful.
I don't know what the answer is here, but what are other people saying?
Say what you will about Stan Lee, but he knows women.
And he and Steve Ditko, they fucked. Let's see what people said on here. There's 3 answers. This guy, Bhaskar says, he doesn't really have a lot at the same time. He's not a player at all. The first woman he thought he loved was Betty Brant. They drifted apart and she later married Ned Leeds, a reporter. Gwen Stacy was a serious girlfriend whom he contemplated on marrying but was killed by the Green Goblin. Mary Jane was just a friend who helped him grieve and became a girlfriend later. Debbie Whitman was not a serious girlfriend as Peter Parker didn't
I'm
really
sorry,
get
this is
close
a
to her.
lot of women you're naming. This is like a whole bunch of women.
So many women. I can't read all of this. It just keeps going.
The Peter Parker defender has logged on.
The final sentence is just, when he is Spider-Man, events in his superhero life make his personal life complicated.
Oh my God.
Ain't that the truth?
Everybody has the same line excusing his cheating.
People get mad online if you like disparage Spider-Man lore. I know that. I tweeted the other day, I was playing the Spider-Man
I wouldn't
game,
know, Jeremy.
and I tweeted, if I was Spider-Man, I would just monetize it. And like 1,000 people came out of the woodworks to be like, he tried that.
He can't do it. He can't have a Patreon.
all
They
right.
need a social security number.
Yeah, that was basically what everyone was saying to me.
Yeah, but like even in the game, right? They have an app, like
Yes.
a Spider-Man app that people, but they don't charge you nothing. They don't even run ads on the app.
It's
And it's like-
ridiculous, Matt.
And it's like 3 really smart guys working on this app. And none of them are like a little bit on the side, a subscription fee, $4.99 a month. Come on. Like, yeah, no.
The whole
It was-
game
it was-
is just like Spider-Man being like, man, I can't afford to pay rent. Anyway, back to being the most famous person alive.
Here I am hanging out with Aerosmith.
It's like, you can't figure anything out? Make
It's a shame.
t-shirts.
It's too bad, Jeremy.
Couldn't be
But
me.
it's like, I guess he figures if I try to monetize it, Uncle May will get shot next. Or like,
Yeah.
third aunt twice removed. Who do I have left, really? Anytime I monetize,
That's right.
someone dies.
It does seem like there's a vengeful higher power holding the sword of Damocles over him at all times, waiting for him to have fun once.
Who among us?
He does so much for this city.
We love him here in New York.
We love you, Spider-Man.
I want to see Eric Adams hanging out with Spider-Man.
Oh, he does all the time. They're best friends.
That's what he says.
So I'm not sure if you guys have ever heard of this storyline where it's Peter Parker in the future and he's at Mary Jane's grave and he's like, I'm so sorry. The buildup of my radioactive semen gave you cancer and killed you.
I have somehow seen this.
That's
awesome.
And I really have not put in the time to do so. So it's impressive.
That's the time that you put in. I just gave it to you. That's it. That's all you need to know about the storyline. It was supposed to be this big emotional thing, and now everyone just kind of mocks it nowadays.
Right.
And I think
It's wrong.
I
way
think
they
there's a
treat it.
scene where he's holding like a skeleton, and the skeleton is completely bare of flesh, but it still has big red hair. From Mary Jane. That's a memory of mine. I'm not sure if it's accurate, but maybe
Iconic.
again.
They should do a sequel where like just more and more women around New York are getting Spider-Man cancer. They're like, what is happening?
Is it like the writer heard about how you can get cancer from eating pussy? And we're like,
Yeah.
and Spider-Man's girlfriend has this problem.
They heard about how like everyone at NYU got chlamydia from Timothy Chalamet.
Dear God, it's infecting Manhattan.
Female cancer rates are going up 7,000% this month. What the fuck?
Everyone is going down on Peter. That's basically all the answers here.
All joking aside, he does so much for this.
He's an American hero.
Download the app. Download
Yeah,
the
please.
Spider Neighborhood app.
Sign
Support
up for
Spider-Man, patreon.com/Quorators. Make sure you hit that button. Don't read what it says.
Okay, let's read
What
another.
do we got now?
We got another video game question.
I love video game.
Are Mortal Kombat fatalities physically possible? Yes.
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 We opened with that guy who lit the inside of his ass on fire. I think you can do it.
There's those videos where they get a doctor to react to fatalities, and like I watched like one ever. Now they do it like every time there's like a DLC character, and he's just like, no. So that's pretty definitive right there. He's a little grossed out, but he just says no.
I love that. I love the idea of a doctor watching a man punch someone and then he explodes and being like, you can't do that.
This is misleading.
You actually can't do that.
It's kind of... It would be unlikely to rip someone's spine out through their head, pull it out of their body, and then tie them up with it.
There should be some community notes under this video, I feel.
I see Reptile shooting acid out of his mouth and dissolving a man alive, but I think to contain that acid is pretty hard to do.
It's like one thing when they have gun experts to like critique like Resident Evil's guns, like, okay, that makes sense. Like he goes, this is inaccurate, that's inaccurate, but that's, that you could do that, or this gun would work like that. But the minds behind that video series, and we're like, let's get doctors in on Mortal Kombat. Like parents, old people react to Mortal Kombat fatalities. Again, sure, I understand the appeal there, but there is an appeal in a doctor saying no, nah.
I resent when doctors get into the content creating space. You already have money. Get the fuck out of here.
Get out of here, you fucking bozo.
Go back to your job where you help people.
I can't even monetize Mortal Kombat and stuff. It gets flagged. Son of a bitch, Dr. Bleeker.
Legally, you have to do that at a hospital. Yeah. On Quora, they don't think so, most likely.
This guy says it's all fictional. I couldn't possibly pull off a couple of hair from someone's skull, let alone their whole skull. All right.
Sounds like a skill issue.
Yeah, it sounds like that's on you, dude.
Why don't you try harder? This guy's done a lot of screenshots.
Yeah, and it just says, no, you can't do those things in real life.
I think maybe could you punch let's take one fatality, for example, and maybe...
Okay, so here you go. Someone says, yes, you can burn someone, parentheses, just not from a kiss out of your mouth. You would have to use matches and gasoline.
And sit on them in the right way. Could you uppercut someone's head so it pops off and explodes a fountain of blood? I couldn't.
Yeah.
I couldn't.
Someone certainly could.
Could a like an NBA player who goes to uppercut practice every day for 10 years? Maybe.
Could
on like
Dave
a baby.
Bautista do it?
That's a great example of a guy who almost certainly can uppercut someone so their head flies off and a fountain of blood appears.
But then he goes and rescues another dog and lives with them on his ranch. So you can't be mad at him, unfortunately.
Can't be mad at Dave. We love Dave on here. Dave. The second you answer our emails, Dave, you are welcome to come on.
Is there one you could possibly do? Like, I want to say that there's one that's like, yeah, okay, maybe, but none is... Like, can you grow into a giant and stomp a man? Probably not.
Then what about when they add weapons? Maybe like the ones where they chop a guy up 100 times with their snickety snake sword. Like
it would take a while.
But it would take a while.
But no, Baraka has one where you have to attach machetes to your forearms.
Sure.
But then he just impales you in your gut and lifts you up like this, and you just slide down the blades. Like, that's doable.
Yeah,
that's taken from real life.
That happened like 1 million times in the Civil War, I think.
Absolutely, it did. It was the gangrene and machete lifting off the ground and sliding down a blade are the two biggest reasons for death.
It was brother against Baraka.
You drop Baraka into the Civil War, I think the history of the United States of America would be very different nowadays.
It depends on what side he's on.
Depends on what side.
We're not a political show. We don't want to say which side should have won the Civil War.
Or should have Baraka.
And
which
his
side
help.
would Outworld have supported? We don't know.
Outworld seems like they have a certain disposition over there. There's only like 2 answers, and one's all
Yeah.
pictures, and one's one guy being doubtful. So that's it.
Most people are just like, no, it's not possible. And then they go on for like several paragraphs being like, you could not punch someone so hard that their ribs burst out of their chest.
Correct.
It's like, yeah.
Correct.
That's
I do
true.
not believe so, says one.
All right, let's read another one of these questions.
Interesting.
This is our last video game question.
I love video game.
This question is, what if Pokemon are real?
Oh, shit.
What if?
I'd be like, what?
This is the premise of 10 million YouTube videos.
What if they were, what if you could catch them?
I guess, the question isn't like, what if they were real? It's what if they are? Sorry, Matt, what were you saying?
I was gonna say, is it it just pops in our reality? They are now real, or they were always real? Because that's different. Those are different answers.
I think it's the
What
latter.
if Pokemon are real?
I think the question is, this guy's like, what if that's real?
Yeah, they just, like, we
then
didn't look hard
nothing.
enough.
Then it would be monetized.
Yeah, there you go.
Somehow.
There you go.
Tournaments like
Once again.
Robot Wars, but Pokemon.
But Pokemon Wars.
It would just be some
Oh.
shitty TV show no one watches.
Now, you could take the easy option here and just be like, they're just animals. So you could just make raccoons fight and be like, Pokemon! Children do this for money.
just strap a knife to them, Pokemon, or like Digimon, and more accurately at that point.
Use bite.
Dark power. You are darkness.
I think the other thing that would have changed is that the closest the world got to world peace in the summer of 2016 never would have occurred, because there would have been no Pokemon Go, I'd imagine.
Wow.
It's a damn shame.
I thought you were gonna say like a nuclear thing where like all the countries would be battling to make sure they have Pokemon so that they.
Oh, secure it for military
Yeah.
purposes?
The United States keeps creating more Blastoises.
You ever wonder why we have all the Dragon Knights? And they're all gone from South America. It's a damn shame. I bet these are the longest try-hard answers on Quora.
It has
Yeah.
to be.
Oh
And-
my
in the
God.
video game sphere, at least.
This one's a list. I appreciate that.
Yeah, this guy gave 10 things. First of all, Pokemon were real. I would never get in my house because I would stay outside searching for some decent Pokemon. Thank you, Ozen.
First thing that would happen, I would walk more.
This would open up new job opportunities such as Pokemon training, Pokemon breeding, Pokemon nursing, Pokemon researching. This is why politicians need to get on this.
They refuse to grow that economy.
Pokemon are job creators.
There's not enough jobs in breeding. I've always said that.
They're like zoos that, like, yeah, it would create a whole new industry aside from our regular animals, but they're in addition to our regular flora and fauna, right? It's not. Because I've never seen real animals in Pokemon.
Oh, yeah, this is true. And although I feel like sometimes they mess up and are like, "Oh no, look out for that cat" or whatever.
Yeah.
If Pokemon are just animals, right? That means that we're just gonna like kill them all, right? Like, because that's what we're doing. That's what happened to normal
We would
animals.
just
like
eat Pokemon. We'd all know what they
be
taste
eating
like.
them relentlessly. It would just be all milk tanks.
Like tanks.
It would be so expensive to get like a milk tank burger.
We'd have equipment put in so they can't roll out. That's right, folks. That's one of Milk Tank's moves. How many other ones do I remember?
But lots of people treat certain Pokemons as pets, but they're all Pokemon. So it's not like how cats and dogs and other smaller pets get special privileges, right? You know, so I there's a lot of moral issues here because someone's meat could be another one's pet.
That's right.
But I guess it's true too. You can have a pet cow. I would not advise it, but
Hey, with the lights off, you can have all kinds of pet cows.
I think you legally can't here.
Oh, not in New York City.
No.
Well, that's a zoning issue, isn't it?
Yeah, you're
Yeah,
not
in
allowed
the
to have weird pets in
Hey,
New York.
move out to the suburbs.
Yeah.
Get a cow in your living room.
They can't go downstairs.
You get the
though.
world's saddest cow who keeps trying to eat your rug. It's a real opportunity for you.
and there's like a Meowth walking around in someone's backyard saying, "Hey ma, there's a weird fucking cat out here."
He throws
stealing my
coins. I don't know, I'd say he's exactly like a normal cat, bar the throwing coins. The use of money is different. Anyway, there's 6 more examples on here,
yeah.
but there could possibly be a Pokemon.
Number 4,
Olympics.
there could possibly be a new form of terrorism.
That's
using
true.
Pokemon to invade
would be.
bases.
Our bases are at risk.
Use Voltorb to blow down the doors / walls to enter, then use a Weezing or any Pokemon with smokescreen. Steal all you can, then exit, parentheses. Don't ask me why and how I thought of this, okay?
I do like this answer.
A Ditto can turn into anything. Like if
That's
there's
true.
a president or of any country that has like a pet Pokemon, that Ditto can just impersonate him, and assassination is guaranteed at that point. So there's a million applications here for terror.
I've actually been reading some blogs that indicate Ditto has already been impersonating many celebrities and politicians who have already been executed by the state.
Q has revealed to you all the Ditto politicians.
If you look closely, you'll see they don't have a whole eyeball. They just got those dots.
I would love to spread that rumor. Get all the QAnon people to be like, look at Joe Biden's eyes. Then Joe Biden has to just be like, I'm just Irish.
That's what it looks like, man. And we're back doing Joe Biden. It's been 1 week.
It happens every week.
It happens every week, folks. Okay. Do we need to read all
sleeper
these?
agents is very strong. It's a strong theory.
There are great world building opportunities. This post also ends with "Thank you for reading. Appreciate it." You're
There you
welcome.
go. This guy also says, lastly, I think people would be happier overall. Because
Sure.
every time you see a cute wild Pokemon, you will realize that everyone was meant to be, and you have a purpose in life, and you will just smile and move on knowing that great adventure await you.
Sure. Yeah. I'd say the last one is it cures my depression that I have. Knowing
the
there's a
next answer is-
Hitmonlee in a field.
The next answer is a guy with a gun, and it says if Pokemon were real people would hunt Pokemon for reasons other than playing Pokemon Go.
And then
so
it's
it's just we would kill
Is
them.
that a real photo of like an animal being shot with a gun?
I don't want to think about it.
Well, you won't be seeing that on our YouTube page, so who knows? Enjoy the censored icon.
All right,
I think
let's
this
see.
may finish up our video game segment.
Problem with Pokemon being real is that it's not a sustainable environment. Shut up.
Shut up.
Boo.
No one cares about that. They've taken the Oval
let him-
Office.
What does he have some reasoning with that, or is it just like that's the statement?
I already closed
Jeremy
it.
closed it in disgust,
That's-
but we will
you know
pull it
what?
back up.
The illogical elements of Pokemon from the fact that war turtles are supposed to live for centuries, or that certain Pokemon are from dreams, or random events makes Pokemon an ecosystem highly unlikely. Some of them are from dreams. Grow up.
It's highly unlikely.
Fuck you.
We're going to say where you work.
Grow up.
Fuck you, Andrew.
Oh, he's a filmmaker.
Yeah,
All
that's
right, so
right.
we're all doing the same thing. Okay, great.
I just like that answer. Someone was like, "What if Pikachu is real?" And someone was like, "He can't be.
He's not.
because of that. He's not."
Time to grow up.
The amount of voltage contained within his cheeks is not possible.
Doctor here. It's highly unlikely.
For Pikachu to be real.
Doctors react to Pokemon.
That's not real.
A lot of hot series ideas.
I'm the
today.
Jade Goodall of Pokemon. That's not real.
Thank you for your
okay.
service.
Let's go to our romance segment, Quoromance.
Let's pull that up. Here we go. Quoromance.
Matt, one of the subjects that you said that you're an expert on is hentai. So I found us a...
That's what you said, Matt.
you begged
That's
us.
what you
The
said.
DM did not say expert.
If I remember correctly, it was, please only give me hentai questions.
If you want me at my most knowledgeable, you said.
You know what? I did say that. Fine. Let's just go with that.
Well, we have a lot of questions for
Right.
you.
Now the comedy section ends, and now this is just
Research
Doctor reacts.
begins.
Hentai Doctor reacts.
Hentai Doctor reacts. Oh, tsundere.
Now I sifted through the hentai questions on Quora, and I found the most legal ones I can ask. So
Fantastic.
this question is watching hentai acceptable for my Christian beliefs?
I mean,
Doesn't say it in the Bible, baby.
If it's the ones that deal with devil worship, which there is a subgenre, then no, I would imagine. If it doesn't deal with that, I guess it would fall under the same grounds as just regular pornography.
God's cool with you jacking off to cartoons as long as the devil's not in it.
It's been a while since I've been in theology
Or
school.
an anime devil,
Yes.
which is even more devilish.
He has bigger abs than the devil normal. There is a weird loophole here where you're almost like, well, it's not real people, so maybe it's better for God.
God's into it. That's just drawings, baby.
That's just using that brain I gave you. This is like a weird daddy God
Yeah,
who
this
watches you and is like, just go do what you want.
The heavenly daddy. I'm cool, God.
You've been bad today. I'm going to send a flood.
If you want to torrent that anime hentai, you can do.
There is
That's the rights that I've given you.
there is one answer.
There's two answers.
There's two answers.
One person says, since they're your beliefs, you must decide. Boring.
Useless. And then there's pictures of hentai sent to him. Okay, thank you.
And then someone else says, hentai meaning perversion equals lust. Then no. And they have a bunch of things from
I have that tattooed on my arm.
Corinthians 6:13. You say, food for the stomach and the stomach for food, and God will destroy them both. The body, however, is not meant for sexual immorality, but for the Lord. Who cares?
You'll notice if you are a subscriber to the show how much more is just us reading the Bible every week.
Well, here's a good one, because this one is from Matthew 5:28. I assume this is the book of Matthew McMuscles. And the quote is, but I tell you, it says, anyone who looks at a woman lustfully has already committed adultery with her in his heart. Guess what? There's no women in cartoons. Those are drawings.
That's
Those are
just
drawings.
my mind.
So there you go. And that's the book of Matthew McMuscles.
It's one step above your just imagination, and it's like not even a huge step. So I had this restaurant that was like where I used to live, just in the suburbs, and it was just like where a few restaurants are clustered. One restaurant, I kid you not, just its name is hentai. It just says hentai on the front.
Interesting.
Bar and sushi. So this is my Roman Empire, and that I think about it at least 5 times. Going, what?
You gotta see the kanji on that one. You gotta see what that one means.
Is that someone that like, hey, I need to open up a restaurant, and their smart alecky 17-year-old goes, you should call it hentai. It's a Japanese word meaning tasty.
Yeah.
And that they're like, okay, let me do that. Or is someone just completely like, ha ha ha, I'm just going to call it this. And the French language police will not be able to stop me because they're totally a thing here. And they'll be like, oh, that's an okay word. I guess I don't know what that means. And that's it. It's closed down since. I've never been inside because I was like, I don't know what's in there.
This is a trap.
I will not be photographed walking into hentai.
I hope it's your first option where there's just like the most cynical white devils in Canada. We're like, yeah, we're opening a Japanese restaurant. I don't know what the fuck's in there. We'll take the first name suggested and then throw hamburgers on the menu.
But like walking through those doors, like knowing or assuming it is a restaurant, is that a sin against your religious beliefs? Because you don't know what you're getting into when you go in there. You don't know what's going to be in there.
Baby, you sinned when you walk through the door.
But yeah. So there's one more
cares?
answer you said?
That was all the answers. They're all like, who cares? Fuck those questions.
We have many more hentai questions for you. We simply must get to the ball.
Fear not. Okay, here's another hentai question. Sir, I am addicted to hentai and I am losing interest in real girls. What should I do?
Thank you for addressing me by my full title.
Sir.
just keep going on.
Hey, keep rocking out there.
Keep on trucking. Keep on rolling, baby.
Fight through it. Runners call this the wall.
Because I'm assuming this person's not going to want to put the work in to get back on the quote unquote normal track. So I don't even know. I'd say just do what works for you, buddy.
Sir, not everyone takes the wife and kids route. Maybe you just live alone with hentai.
Ain't nothing wrong with that.
Ain't nothing wrong with that.
Body pillows are not that expensive in today's economy.
That's
so
right.
just go nuts.
They're
Buy
just
as many as
giving
you
them
want.
away. Oh, the beautiful girls on these pillows. Hey, it's me, God, again. You see how many pillows are out there?
This one has no
They're
answers.
just drawings on a pillow.
I like what I see.
This one has no answer, so I'm going to answer for it. I'm going to give the first answer. I'm going to say, just keep going.
Just keep going. Just keep rocking on.
Just keep rocking on.
And then our title is CEO of GILF of the Week.
I don't remember
That's
what that's
from last week, I believe.
Okay. Choose a credential.
Just
Sounds
leave that
good.
one. That's fine.
Okay, cool.
All right. Well,
Let's do another hentai question.
there's nothing to say there. Up to this next one.
How can I fight my porn/hentai addiction as a pagan? I feel as if I can no longer enter Valhalla.
Interesting. This is a time-traveling Viking.
Do pagans believe in Valhalla?
I think Vikings
I
are
thought
allowed to
that
jack
sounds-
off to whatever. I'm pretty
That's
sure.
Norse.
No, but yeah, exactly. That those are two different things. I'd like to think.
I think from the Christian perspective, the Norse worshippers are pagans.
Maybe they really like Mad Max Fury Road.
Maybe they like Mad Max Fury Road. Anyway, you can still enter Valhalla. This is a common misconception as long as you are a brave and strong warrior and kill many foes and die in battle.
If you're addicted to
Yeah.
cartoon porn, it might make you an even braver, even stronger warrior. So
You
keep on
have
rocking.
something to fight for.
Yes, something back home.
I'm so into this guy who spends all day watching cartoon porn and is like, I just worry this will affect my combat strength.
When your fellow Vikings are like, "What are you fighting for?" and you're like, "I got a cartoon back home."
I got a warm pillow waiting for me. She's probably cooking a nice stew for me right now, my pillow.
That pillow's fucking someone else.
The answer here is confusing.
Valhalla isn't Norse heaven. You aren't chosen to go there based on morals. It's literally just how good of a warrior you are. Also, 98% or more of your pagan ancestors were normal people who went to hell. Very different from Christian hell. So it might be better. So go be with them.
So go be
IMO.
with them, and by them I mean the hentai you watch. I do like that. I should have put this under the religious category. Most of these are about religion
It's
in
true.
some way.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're learning a lot about Norse mythology.
We have
that's
more
what I wanted
hentai
to say.
questions.
We have
so we don't
many
have to
more.
get stuck on this.
We don't. We can move. It doesn't have to be just for Vikings. You can listen no matter what.
Okay, here's a
religion you
relationship
are.
one for you, Alex. This also has no answers, so we can be the first to answer this crucial question. What should I do if my husband chose hentai over me? I've never been comfortable with him reading/watching it. He's known this. So I gave him the choice between me and hentai. Obviously, he chose the latter. I view pornography as cheating. You know what?
The
Yeah, you
old
never
ball
know.
and chain, always watching hentai over my shoulder, shaking her head.
I just like that she was like, "It's me or hentai." And he was just like, "Hentai? What are you talking about?"
What are these 30 cartoon cheerleaders got that I ain't got? Is it a pact with the devil?
How can I compete with a camera that can show internally what's happening inside me?
It's true. It's so gross. There's like so much stuff in there that is not anything like sex at all.
It's weird that the question is framed as "it's me or hentai." Is that like, was that on a particular date, or was that like already the ultimatum? Like, this is the final answer for the rest of your life? Because that's heavy.
That is.
Because if it's the latter, then yeah, it's, wow, that guy answered before the sentence was fully formed and asked.
It's between me and he was like, "Hentai. I'm picking hentai. I don't care
hentai.
what you say next."
I love it.
I go to that restaurant every day.
He thought it was the sushi she was talking about. He just loves tuna rolls.
Classic miscommunication.
So the question. So this is confusing thing about Quora is the questions are usually the first sentence is a question and then some like add-on
Sure.
bullshit after. And this one's like that. The question is, what should I do if my husband chose hentai over me? And I think
Right.
the answer is to become a hentai.
Yeah, there you go. Start learning how do you say it? A Hago face? I don't watch this stuff.
Ah, that was my best. Hey, go face.
Is that how you say it?
Yeah, you're nailing it, baby. You're nailing it.
So yeah, learn it. Learn the moves.
Yeah,
Put
you
in
got-
some effort for your
Oh.
cartoon loving husband.
How about hire an artist to draw a hentai of the wife.
That's a good
give
idea.
It as a gift to said husband. The wife shouldn't have to do this. This is ridiculous.
She should leave him. It's clearly not a match.
But for the purposes of this show, the answer would be hire hentai artist. See if that like is a transitional element to real sex. Perhaps.
Step 1, save up some money because it's going to take a while.
You're gonna have to hire an animator.
You need a man to draw you sexually.
There's hentai animators that just have Patreons and they'll just do like a 30-second
That's right.
loop.
One of them is Peter Parker.
I have not done this, but you have to believe me. But yeah, no, 30 seconds. I'm sure it's reasonably priced. And
Sure.
yeah, that's. But if this was in the 2000s, then yeah, she's spending $1 million easy to get the production started.
You're going to a studio.
Voice casting. There'd be a lot of back end costs there.
You have to go to the non-union voice actors and get Goku to do your sexy voice. Okay, well, leave him. You're not a match, and he is going to hell.
Yeah, he's going to hell, but it's the
Valhalla.
pagan, Norse hell where all of his ancestors are, so that's fine.
He sits at the table with Odin.
Okay, I think this is our last one.
I think this should be our last one.
Okay.
We have another one we probably shouldn't do on the internet. Okay.
This will be the last one. In hentai anime like Mistreated Bride, Rinkan Club, Otome Dori, etc.
Household names.
Such as like Brad Pitt. Women are shown to give in to pleasures. Are real women just faking emotions like trust?
Trust is a good example of an emotion women are faking.
They're all just faking trust.
Emotions, happiness, anger, trust.
In all the cartoons I watch, women like getting fucked, but the women I meet don't like it. Are they all liars?
Lying?
Why does lying come to women so easily?
This one has no answers either.
I like that there's an answer that starts with, okay, a wild guess.
No, this is for a different
That's for a different question.
Yeah.
Quora's a bad website. Can I
not
just
good.
say that again? It's very hard to use. So are real women faking emotions like trust? We asked the podcast. I say they're not. I'm an ally.
I can see that this question was added by Anonymous, but I can see that it originally came with a video that is now no
For
longer
some
there,
reason.
has been removed.
It's no longer on YouTube.
And I'm sure it was
Copyright strike.
doctors reacting to hentai being like, that can't happen.
That's not. No.
You can't burn the inside of your asshole for 3 feet.
Doctor here, and he's just jacking off.
It's like the human body can't grow that many penises and tentacles out of it. It's just there's no medical history that shows it. No, I don't think real women are lying about that stuff. At the same time, this is the most serious question in the sense that this guy not watches hentai but believes in it.
It's
right?
a Peter Pan situation.
Right.
Exactly. So I think the question is hard to even answer there because I don't think this guy would like the answers anyway.
This question has no answers on it, but I'm going to request an answer from Dr. Jordan Peterson and see if that does anything, and we'll check in.
A function Quora does let you do,
We
which is
literally
just tag
just
people
sent Jordan
in other
Peterson
Quora questions.
The real Jordan Peterson this question, and then maybe he'll answer.
He does use the website. He will be receiving.
It
this
seems up his
notification.
alley.
And we want to know if in hentai like Mistreated Bride, Rinkan Club, Otome Dori,
Women will
etc.
never be as good as Rinkan Club.
Oh, doctor here, it's impossible to mistreat a bride. Okay, we shouldn't do the last one.
No.
We shouldn't do the
Let's
last one.
ask a question. Do we have any, Matt? Do you have any questions you want to ask Quora.com? Do you have a burning question that you've always wanted to ask, but you never knew where to turn for answers?
You had me on the spot.
Do you have any questions?
I love to ask questions. Okay. What
Keep in mind,
about
we will have to answer it next week at the beginning of our episode, so we might not want to do another hentai episode.
the 2 in a row does seem like a lot. How about just why isn't Godzilla in any hentai?
All right, fine. I'm sure he is.
I see the question you had written out there was, is hentai
there
real?
are anime waifus that are drawn to like, they kind of have Godzilla armor on, like, so it's like their head inside the Godzilla's mouth. And that's a whole other thing. Now, have people animated scenes around those characters? That I don't know. That I don't know. I'm
Not
a
an
massive
expert.
Godzilla fan, but I don't know this. Godzilla is a pure creature. You can't besmirch.
I would maybe thinking of amending our question to be more open-ended so we don't get so stuck on hentai next week, and just changing it to, what if Godzilla had a human girlfriend?
Okay, that's a great question.
That's one of the great questions of our time.
What if
This is
Godzilla
great.
had a human girlfriend? I'm going to predict that a lot of people are going to correct us and say Godzilla is a woman, and I'm going to say, so what?
So what? Tag Jordan
It's
Peterson.
2023.
Put it online.
Godzilla is a they them.
Yeah, that's
first of all,
fine.
and in the 1998 American Matthew Broderick film, Godzilla is asexual in that film. So there you go.
The Godzilla in that one has eggs, right? There's the whole scene with the eggs.
Yeah, they're like, oh, there's this lizard in Guatemala that is asexual and just lays. Life finds a way,
Which is why it's an error when people say Godzilla. Now there's a whole lot of woman. And they need to stop saying stuff like that. Well, that's going to be rounding up the podcast for today. We had a lot of fun here. Matt, thanks so much for coming on. Where can our viewers find you at home and abroad?
Well, I am a white, overweight man with a beard, so you can find me on YouTube, where I review bad fighting games on my channel, Matt McMuscles, and also tell you what happened with the game developments of certain games that were complete disasters. I talk to the developers and get the inside baseball on that stuff. So, yeah, that's pretty much it. I also do another podcast myself, all about fighting games, coincidentally enough, called Triple KO, with 2 gentlemen that are much more well-versed in the subject than me, Justin Wong and Maximilian Dude. So, yeah, do check that out.
These are 3 strong men. We are also on youtube.com. Check out our podcast where it comes out every Monday. If you would like an additional podcast every Thursday, we have more of those on patreon.com/Quorators. That is also where we go on Reddit and other websites and stuff. Yeah. That's what goes on over there. You get it. That's it.
That's it.
All right. That's been the show another week. I'm dusting my hands of it.
Bye.
Bye.